Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some pretty fascinating new research that uses artificial intelligence to get a handle on a huge issue on college campuses: student stress. For a long time now, universities have been searching for better ways to support their students, and this study, well, it offers a powerful, transparent, and surprisingly affordable new way to do just that. Let's get into how it all works. This is really the core question, isn't it? Universities have always been in this tough spot, trying to catch up, usually offering help only after a student is already in deep. But what if technology could flip that script? What if it could help schools get proactive instead of just being reactive? All right, so first things first, let's just be clear about the scale of this problem. We're not just talking about a little anxiety before a big test. Student stress is this widespread issue that really can impact a student's entire college experience. And the research is absolutely crystal clear on this. The pressure cooker of higher education creates this high-stakes world where stress can directly tank students' grades, mess with their mental health, and just generally get in the way of them being able to thrive. So you might be sitting there thinking, okay, why haven't we just used AI to solve this already? Well, it turns out the early attempts hit a couple of pretty big walls, something researchers call the black box problem. So on one hand, you had these traditional black box AIs. They often needed all kinds of expensive sensors and gear. And yeah, they could spit out a prediction, but they could never tell you why they made it. That made them pretty impractical and frankly hard for universities to trust or afford. Powerful, sure, but totally opaque. And this is exactly where this new research is such a game changer. It totally shifts the focus to a different kind of artificial intelligence, one that's built from the ground up to be a partner you can actually understand and trust. And that brings us to this idea of explainable AI, or XAI for short. Instead of just giving you an answer, an XAI model actually shows its work. It lays out the exact factors that led to its conclusion. It basically turns that mysterious black box into a clear glass box. You can see the logic inside. And for making big decisions, that changes everything. The way the researchers did this was just so smart and methodical. They started with simple survey data from over 1,000 students, no fancy expensive hardware needed. Then they trained 6 different machine learning algorithms to see what would happen. They found the one that worked best. And then, this is the crucial part, they used XAI to peel back the curtain and understand why it worked so well. And the results? They were seriously impressive. Their best model, one called a random forest, was able to predict a student's stress level with a remarkable 89% accuracy. That's way better than the other models they tried. Think about that, almost 90% certainty just from some simple survey questions. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. The accuracy number is great, but the true power of explainable AI is in finding out the why. The AI basically acted like a detective, combing through all the data to find the most important clues. Right, so the model didn't just give a thumbs up or thumbs down. It gave a ranked list, a top 5, of the factors that are most responsible for student stress. These are the things that universities really need to be zeroing in on. Coming in at number 1 was something purely physiological: blood pressure. This just makes it so clear that stress is not just a feeling in your head. It has a direct, measurable, physical impact on your body. It's that fight or flight response kicking in, showing just how deep the strain can go. The second biggest predictor was a student's feeling of safety. And this just makes perfect sense, right? If you don't feel secure where you live and learn, whether that's physically or psychologically, your brain just can't focus on things like studying. It's a fundamental human need. Next up, at number 3, is sleep quality. This is one of those things we all kind of know deep down. Sleep is absolutely essential for your brain to work right and for you to regulate your emotions. When you don't get enough good sleep, your ability to handle all the pressures of college just goes right out the window. Predictor number 4 gets at something social and so important: the quality of the relationships between students and their teachers. Having a supportive connection with a professor, someone who can offer guidance and just make you feel seen, that acts as this incredible buffer against feeling totally isolated or overwhelmed. And finally, rounding out the top 5 is getting involved in extracurriculars. It doesn't matter if it's sports, a club, or an arts group, these activities give you a sense of belonging, a community. They're a healthy way to blow off steam and build those social networks that help you get through the tough times. So here's the billion-dollar question.
What do we do with all this information? This is the point where the research stops being just an academic paper and starts becoming a practical guide for making real change.
And the authors themselves put it perfectly. These findings aren't just interesting little tidbits, they are a solid, evidence-based foundation for action. Universities don't have to guess what matters anymore. Now they have the data to show them exactly where to focus.
And you can see how you can draw a straight line from each finding to a real-world action. Because the AI pointed to health, safety, sleep, mentorship, and activities, universities can now create targeted programs, easy-to-access health checks, better campus safety, workshops on how to sleep well, mentorship programs, and really encouraging students to join clubs. Every single one is a direct answer to what the data told us.
Ultimately, this research leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. It really suggests we're at a turning point. We now have these affordable, transparent, explainable AI tools that can help us stop just reacting to student crises after they happen. We can actually start to proactively build healthier, more supportive campuses where every single student truly has the chance to thrive.